Have you ever found yourself wishing for a remake of a game that captured your imagination years ago? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into 5 legendary RPGs that fans have been begging to see brought back to life. Let's kick things off with a game that needs no introduction. Chrono Trigger. What more needs to be said? Created by a literal dream team of developers, this game was a masterpiece that defined an era. Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy, Yuji Horii, the mind behind Dragon Quest, and Akira Toriyama, the legendary artist behind Dragon Ball, all came together to make this timeless classic. With its unforgettable time-traveling plot, multiple endings, and complex character arcs, Chrono Trigger was one of the first games to introduce this groundbreaking feature. The choices players made directly impacted how the story concluded, giving fans a reason to play it over and over. Imagine this game remade with modern graphics and a reimagined combat system that keeps its classic, active time battle, but with even more flexibility. And let's not forget how Chrono Trigger's time travel mechanics inspired other games, from Ocarina of Time to Life is Strange. A remake could bring in more dynamic time-altering events, visual storytelling enhancements, and who wouldn't love to see those iconic scenes in full 3D? Next up is Terranigma, a game with such a unique premise that it remains one of the most underrated RPGs out there. This title is truly a hidden gem, especially for fans outside of Japan and Europe, as it was never released in North America. This regional exclusivity only fueled its legendary status among RPG enthusiasts, making it a rare find for those who managed to get their hands on it. In Terranigma, players take on the role of Ark, a hero on an epic journey through a world being reborn. Unlike typical RPGs, Terranigma combines real-time action with a deep story about the growth of civilization itself. As you progress, you're not just battling monsters, you're literally reviving continents, restoring life, and guiding humanity's development. Imagine a remake that expands on Terranigma's environmental storytelling and civilization building aspect. With today's technology, the visuals could bring Earth's recreated cities to life in stunning detail, adding even more interaction with the world's inhabitants. The atmosphere alone would be worth revisiting, and a fresh take on the narrative could make Terranigma's powerful themes hit even harder. Breath of Fire 2 takes 3rd place, and this one is a fan favourite for many reasons. It's not just an RPG, it's an emotional journey about family, betrayal, and destiny. The combat system is classic turn-based, but what really set this game apart was its unique shaman fusion mechanic, which allowed players to merge characters with special shamans for powerful abilities. Another standout feature was its open-world structure, which was rare for its time. Players could explore different towns and dungeons in nearly any order they chose, giving them the freedom to approach the story and side quests as they liked. This made Breath of Fire 2 feel incredibly immersive, and added a layer of strategy as players decided where to go and when. Imagine a remake that expands on this freedom, with a visually stunning world map, enhanced dungeons, and a combat system that builds on the original's challenge. Add in voice acting and more nuanced character development, and Breath of Fire 2 would be a new powerhouse of storytelling. EarthBound is quirky, it's funny, and it's completely unlike any other RPG from its time. While most RPGs took place in medieval fantasy worlds, EarthBound broke the mold by setting its story in a modern-day, American-inspired small town. This unique backdrop gave the game a fresh, relatable feel, with environments that ranged from suburban streets to malls and schools. The game stood out with its satirical humour and a battle system that plays out like a fever dream, complete with the unique rolling HP meter, which lets players react quickly to damage by healing characters before their HP fully depletes. Imagine seeing that small town life and bizarre alien enemies in high definition. With a remake, EarthBound could expand its unusual world, with more side quests and deeper social interactions, while keeping that wacky charm intact. It's the type of game that could really use updated visuals to bring its charmingly weird vision to life. And last but definitely not least, Lufia II, Rise of the Sinistrals. Known for its mix of intricate puzzles and deep combat, Lufia II is a game that balanced story and gameplay perfectly. It took traditional RPG mechanics and added layers of complexity with features that made it stand out, especially for fans looking for something beyond the usual turn-based battles. One of the game's standout features is the famous Ancient Cave, a 99-floor dungeon that is randomly generated each time you enter. Players start with minimal equipment, forcing them to rely on what they find along the way, giving each run a unique twist. Some might even say it's one of the early ancestors of the roguelike genre. This randomly generated labyrinth became an icon in RPG history, challenging players to adapt to unpredictable conditions and adding an extra level of strategic depth to the game. And that's our list. Do you have a favourite that we mentioned today? Or maybe there's another classic you're hoping to see remade? Let me know in the comments below.